What's going on, my dudes? This is Mr. Gardner, and this is Math Time with Mr. G. We're going to do some quadratic word problems, one using vertex form and one using standard form. So Deshaun and Chris are playing soccer. Chris takes a shot at the goal. Deshaun is 3 feet from the goal and can reach up to 8 feet after he jumps for it. Can he block this shot from this current position without moving? Let's see what we can do. The first thing we can do is rewrite this in vertex form. The next thing we have to do is find A. Well, we know a single point. It's when the ball was kicked off the ground. It's at point 2 and 1.2. So we just plug this in for X and Y and solve for A. Okay, so what I did was I plugged in my point, simplified the inside, subtracted 11 from both sides, divided by 196, and that's how I found A. Now that we have A, I can rewrite my equation in its full. So now I have my equation. We have to put in his point and see if he can reach it. So his highest point is 8, so that means Y is going to be 8, and he is 3 feet from the goal. So if the goal is at 25, that means that he is at 22. So I'm going to put 22 in for X, and then solve and see if he can get it. So what we did was we plugged in 8 and 22 and we solved, and we got -3 is equal to -1.8. Because these are not equal to, he could not reach it. Another way we could have done this is we just plugged in his X value. And if we have done that, we would have found that Y is equal to 9.8. So at that point, it would have been 9 feet, 0.8 above him, which is taller than his 8. So he can't reach it by 1.8. Our next question is, we have a person who's going to jump off a diving board into some water. And we want to know how fast they're going and where they are. So our velocity equation is v sub 0. That means our velocity, or how fast we're going initially. When we first jump off this diving board, how fast are we going when we get off that diving board? H sub 0 is our initial height. So when we're at this diving board, how far off the ground are we? And T stands for time. Where are we in this process? Have we jumped yet? Are we 2 seconds from jumping? Where are we? And this equation should not look too scary. It looks very similar to our standard equation of a constant of where we started times time and our velocity. So B would be our velocity. So let's say I gave you this equation, and I want to know at 2 seconds, where am I in this jump off the diving board? So the questions they could ask is, what's my initial velocity? Well, you would say 16 feet per second. They would say, how high is this diving board? You would say 30 feet above the water. And to find how high we are after 2 seconds, you'd plug in 2 in for T and then solve from there. It says after 2 seconds, you are -2 feet. That means you're in the water 2 feet below it. Alright, you guys, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. But other than that, be kind to each other, ask lots of questions, and think deeply.